In this video, we are going to discuss Yellowstone, the supervolcano waiting to erupt. Beneath one of America's most cherished natural treasures, a giant sleeps. We see its gentle breath rise as steam from the ground. We watch its warm heart pulse in pools of vibrant color. Yellowstone conceals a power of unimaginable scale. It has shaped our planet in the past and holds the potential to reshape our future. This is not simply tranquil beauty. It is a profound, ancient power. A sleeping beast linked to the molten core. Millions of people journey to Yellowstone each year. They marvel at geysers like Old Faithful. Old Faithful hurls columns of boiling water high into the sky. Visitors gaze into the grand prismatic spring. Great herds of bison roam sweeping grasslands. Wolves, once gone, now hunt in the forests. The air is crisp, forests are deep, rivers run cold and clear, but every geyser, every hot spring, every steaming fumarole connects directly to the immense volcanic system just miles below. This juxtaposition of serene wilderness and immense geological power is Yellowstone's core tension. Heat from the magma chamber fuels geysers and paints hot springs with vibrant hues. To truly understand Yellowstone is to appreciate its delicate beauty and the astonishing, world-altering power it holds in reserve. A quiet reminder of nature's ultimate authority over the landscapes we call home. What exactly is this hidden power? It is a supervolcano. This is not a term from a disaster film, it is a real geological classification. Unlike a typical volcano, which we often picture as a cone-shaped mountain, a supervolcano is far larger and far less obvious, a vast depression called a caldera. This caldera is the collapsed remains of a previous colossal eruption, one so powerful that the mountain literally blew itself apart. Yellowstone is one of the largest supervolcanoes on Earth, visible best from space. The Yellowstone caldera measures roughly 45 miles by 30 miles. It formed during the last super eruption about 640,000 years ago. Such an eruption is almost beyond human comprehension. It's a magnitude 8 on the Volcano Explosivity Index, the highest rating. These events can eject more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of material. Beneath Yellowstone, the ground is not solid rock. It's a complex, dynamic network of molten and semi-molten rock. Scientists mapped it using seismic waves like an ultrasound of the Earth. They revealed a vast magma chamber simmering just a few miles under the surface. This chamber drives everything we see in Yellowstone. Geysers. Understanding this structure shows the sheer hidden scale. The last was about 640,000 years ago. The giant is sleeping for now. The question that occupies the minds of geologists and the public alike is simple. Will it erupt again? The scientific answer is that it most certainly will. The more pressing question, however, is when. Scientists at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory monitor the supervolcano with extraordinary diligence. Every tremor, every shift in the ground. GPS stations to measure ground deformation. The ground at Yellowstone is constantly in motion. It breathes. By several inches or even feet. This movement is caused by the shifting of magma. Small earthquake swarms are also a regular occurrence in Yellowstone. The park experiences thousands of minor tremors each year. Most are too small for a person to even feel. These quakes are often caused by the movement of hot water. However, scientists watch these swarms very carefully. An increase in the frequency or an increase in intensity, especially if they become shallower and shallower, could signal that magma is moving towards the surface. Despite the constant monitoring and the volcano's regular activity, the probability of a super eruption in any given year is extremely low. Geologists estimate the annual odds to be about 1 in 730,000. The most likely volcanic event at Yellowstone is not a super eruption. The giant continues to stir in its sleep, but for now, it shows no signs of truly waking. Let us imagine for a moment that the improbable happens. What would a super eruption at Yellowstone actually look like? The event would begin with a series of intense earthquakes, growing in strength until the ground itself fractures. With the pressure released, an enormous column of ash, gas, pulverized rock would be blasted more than 25 kilometers into the stratosphere, sending searingly hot clouds of volcanic material known as pyroclastic flows racing across the landscape at hundreds of miles per hour. These flows would obliterate everything within a radius of perhaps 100 miles, burying the area under hundreds of feet of hot ash, pumice. A thick, heavy blanket of it would cover vast swaths of the United States, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado. Further east, the sky would darken, and a layer of ash several inches thick would settle over the Midwest, crippling agriculture. The ash is not like soft soot from a fire. It is made of tiny, sharp particles of rock, glass. It is heavy enough to collapse buildings, abrasive enough to destroy jet engines, and toxic to breathe. Air travel would come to a standstill as the fine ash particles spread throughout the upper atmosphere. The ash and sulfur gases injected into the stratosphere would form a veil around the planet. This would trigger a volcanic winter. Global average temperatures could drop by several degrees, a change that would last for years. This sudden climate shift would lead to widespread crop failures and famine on a global scale. The world's breadbaskets, including the American Midwest, would be rendered infertile for a generation. Economies would collapse. It would be a stark and terrifying demonstration of how a single geological event on one continent can hold the entire human civilization hostage. The power beneath Yellowstone is not just a regional threat, it is a planetary one, capable of rewriting our world. If you learned something new, hit like and subscribe.